my goodness! Oh my goodness, that is actually really, really painful. Ah!
What you're about to see will make you think twice before getting too close to insects.
Stinger stuck in my arm, look at that! Okay, it's off, it's off, it's off! Oh my gosh!
Some crawl, some fly, others hide in plain sight. But all of them have one thing in common. Their bite or sting can ruin your day, or even your life. Let's count down the venomous bites you'll never forget. Number 20, the puss caterpillar. It looks like a tiny ball of fluff, soft, still, almost cute. But one wrong touch, and you're in for a world of pain. This is the puss caterpillar, the most venomous caterpillar in the world. Found in parts of the United States, you'll find it clinging to oak and elm trees across the South, blending in like it doesn't want to be noticed. But the danger is real. Its hairs hide hollow spines that inject venom the second they touch skin.
Look at that. Can you see his underside? Looks like a tremor, doesn't it?
There's no warning, just a sudden, stabbing pain. Hot, deep, and spreading fast. People say it feels like a burning knife under the skin. The pain doesn't stay local. It travels up the arm or leg, sometimes to the chest, triggering nausea, dizziness, and even trouble breathing. And it lasts. Hours of constant agony, 12 or more in some cases. Some end up in the hospital, barely able to move. Even worse, its venom targets the nervous system, sending waves of burning and cramping through the entire body. And if you touch more than one, it can turn life-threatening. It might look harmless, but one sting, and you'll never forget it. Number 19, fire ant. Step too close to the wrong patch of ground, and within seconds, your legs are under attack.
I do not miss the feeling of fire ants.
Fire ants don't wait. They don't hesitate. They swarm. These reddish-brown insects may be small, but they strike with military precision, latching onto skin with powerful jaws, then injecting venom through their stingers again and again. The pain is sharp and immediate, like tiny sparks beneath your skin. But that's just the beginning. The venom spreads fast, causing a burning sensation, followed by itching, and then painful, pus-filled blisters. The reaction can last for days, and the scars can linger even longer, and it's never just one. A single sting alerts the colony, triggering a coordinated assault. In seconds, dozens, even hundreds, can be stinging all at once. Their venom contains alkaloids, compounds that destroy cells and trigger intense inflammation. For many, it's just unbearable pain. But for others, especially those with allergies, it can lead to severe swelling, breathing difficulties, and anaphylactic shock. In some cases, these ants have swarmed people's faces, causing temporary blindness. They're common across the southern United States, and their territory keeps growing. Fire ants don't just defend their nest. They overwhelm it, and once they've chosen you as the enemy, there's no walking away without a fight. Number 18, black widow spider. Its body is shiny, black, and smooth. A red hourglass sits beneath its belly like a warning sign, and it means exactly what you think. This is the black widow spider, and its venom is nothing short of brutal.
What I've got right here is a black widow spider, probably one of the most misunderstood arachnids on the planet.
The venom it injects is 15 times more potent than a rattlesnake's, according to toxin experts. And while a rattlesnake might strike in the wild, a black widow might be hiding in your shed, garage, or even inside your shoe. The bite isn't always noticeable at first, just 2 small puncture marks. But within minutes, your body begins to respond. The venom triggers severe muscle pain, abdominal cramping, diarrhea, sweating, and in some cases, temporary paralysis. Victims describe feeling as if their body is being crushed by invisible weights. The pain can be sharp, intense, and worst of all, it can last for weeks. That's right. Get bitten at the beginning of the month, and you could still be feeling the effects when the next month begins. But here's something most people don't know. Despite the intensity, black widow bites are rarely fatal. While the venom is powerful, it usually doesn't kill, especially if you're an adult and have access to treatment. Children, however, are at higher risk, and without fast medical help, the bite can be deadly. Anti-venom exists, but today, it's often used more for pain relief than survival. The real danger lies in the suffering, not in the statistics. And fortunately, black widows aren't aggressive. They won't chase or stalk. They bite only when they feel trapped or threatened. Still, if you ever find yourself face to face with one, don't test it, because even if it doesn't kill you, it might make you wish it had. Number 17. Brown recluse spider. But while the black widow shuts down your nerves, the brown recluse takes a different path.
Now this might be the most feared spider in the US and North America, even more so than the black widow.
One that eats away at you, piece by piece. This spider doesn't hunt or leap. It hides. In dark corners, in shoes, in storage bins. Most people don't even know they've been bitten until hours later. At first, the bite might feels like nothing, maybe a small red bump. But what comes next is far worse. The necrotic venom breaks down tissue. What was once normal skin becomes red, then swollen, then black. The bite site begins to rot, forming an open wound that can spread inches wide. Some bites heal quickly, leaving nothing but a scar. But others create deep, gaping sores that take weeks or months to close.
So we noticed this scar, and he said a number of years ago he was bitten by a brown recluse spider.
In severe cases, the venom spreads through the bloodstream, causing fever, chills, vomiting, even organ damage. And here's the worst part. You might never see the spider. You may not feel the bite, but a day later, you could be staring at a wound that looks like something out of a horror film. The brown recluse doesn't make noise. It just leaves a mark you'll never forget. Number 16, bullet ant. Spiders may leave scars, but this next insect delivers something far more unforgettable. A sting so painful, it's been compared to getting shot.
The stinger stuck in my arm, look at that! Okay, it's off, it's off, it's off!
This is the bullet ant. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, these ants move quietly among the trees. It doesn't look threatening, but when it stings, the pain doesn't just hurt. It consumes you. The moment its stinger pierces your skin, the venom rushes into your nerves like liquid fire. It doesn't fade in a few seconds. It doesn't cool down after a minute. Instead, it builds, wave after wave of deep, throbbing agony. Victims say it feels like being electrocuted.
Did you see that? The stinger was stuck into my forearm, right into the vein. There is the sting insertion point right there.
Like their muscles are being torn apart from the inside. The pain shoots through the entire limb, making it nearly impossible to move. And it lasts 12 to 24 hours of relentless, burning torture. It's so intense that Amazonian tribes use bullet ant stings as a test of manhood, forcing young warriors to wear gloves filled with these ants, enduring dozens of stings at once. Most who experience it say the same thing. It's the worst pain they've ever felt. And that's nothing compared to the next insect. Number 15, executioner, wasp. For years, the bullet ant held the crown for the most painful sting in the world. Then came whispers of something worse. Meet the executioner wasp, a name that says it all. Not many people have been stung by this creature, but those who have said it delivers a blinding, fiery pain that goes beyond anything they imagined. Unlike the bullet ant's deep, throbbing agony, the executioner's sting is sharp, fast, and cruel, like being stabbed with a hot needle that refuses to cool down. Its venom attacks nerve endings, triggering waves of agony that don't go away quickly. The sting site swells within minutes, turning red and stiff. Some even report tissue damage, as if the venom is eating the skin from the inside out. And here's the twist. This wasp doesn't always fly off after a sting. It may strike again, especially if it feels threatened. There's not enough data to say for sure if it's worse than the bullet ant, but for those unlucky enough to feel it, once is more than enough. Number 14. Brazilian wandering spider. The forests of South America are home to a creature that hunts in silence. It doesn't build webs. It doesn't wait. It moves. This is the Brazilian wandering spider, and it's one of the most venomous spiders on Earth. It hides where you least expect it, under logs, inside shoes, tucked in banana crates. At a glance, it may look like just another large brown spider.
Of the 50,000 odd species of spider, this is one of the only ones that you genuinely would need to be worried about.
But its bite is anything but ordinary. The venom acts fast. A sharp, burning pain takes over the bite site, spreading like fire under the skin. Then the rest of your body joins in. Victims often experience intense sweating, shivering, vomiting, blurred vision, and muscle spasms. Some even lose control of their movements. Heart rate can spike or crash. Blood pressure becomes unstable. And in one of the strangest side effects ever recorded, the venom can cause prolonged and painful erections in men, a reaction that has even led to research for erectile dysfunction treatment. But none of it is a joke. In rare cases, the venom leads to paralysis, respiratory failure, or even death if left untreated. And here's the terrifying part. This spider doesn't wait in a corner. It hunts. It wanders. It moves at night and hides during the day, often right where people live. One bite from this spider can send your body into total chaos, and if you survive, the experience is something you'll never forget. Surviving the Brazilian wandering spider means escaping a fast, aggressive predator with venom that tears through your nervous system.
But actually, these spiders have no interest in biting you, unless you harm them.
But this next creature doesn't need speed. It doesn't chase, jump, or even cause pain right away. It waits and changes you from the inside out. Number 13. The Tetsifly. It buzzes like any other fly, small, fast, barely noticeable. But one bite from the Tetsifly can slowly shut down your body from the inside out. Common across parts of sub-Saharan Africa, this fly isn't dangerous because of its size or its sting.
Sub-Saharan Africa, where they cause diseases because they transmit parasitic trypanosomes, African trypanosomes.
It's dangerous because it carries a deadly parasite. One bite, and that parasite enters your bloodstream, multiplying quietly while you go about your day. At first, it feels like the flu, fever, headaches, maybe some joint pain. Nothing serious, but inside, something worse is building. As the parasite spreads, it targets your central nervous system. Then the real symptoms begin. Constant exhaustion, confusion, hallucinations. You start falling asleep in the middle of conversations. Your body weakens. You lose control of your movements. You're awake, but barely. This is African sleeping sickness. And if it reaches your brain, it's almost always fatal without treatment. In the final stages, the victim sleeps into a deep coma. The body shuts down, one system at a time. And the scariest part? There's no vaccine. In many places where this fly thrives, avoiding the bite is the only line of defense. As much as the Tetsifly doesn't strike with speed or strength, it drains you slowly, breaking the body down from the inside until there's almost nothing left. But the next creature doesn't wait. It doesn't sneak. It attacks in full force, with overwhelming numbers and terrifying aggression. Number 12, Africanized killer bees. They don't give warnings, they don't back down, and they don't stop. These are Africanized killer bees, one of the most aggressive swarms on the planet.
Was discovered in the eaves of this Tucson area home. Officials believe they were Africanized killer bees.
Unlike ordinary honeybees that sting only when threatened, these bees treat everything near their hive as a threat. The moment someone gets too close, they launch a full-scale assault. Not one or two bees, hundreds, sometimes thousands, and they don't just sting once. They chase their victims, sometimes for over a quarter of a mile, delivering sting after sting until the body gives out. Their venom isn't more toxic than that of regular bees, but it's the sheer number of stings that makes them so deadly. Each sting injects more venom, and as it builds up, the body starts to shut down.
Stings kill about 40 people every year.
Victims often suffer intense pain, swelling, and dizziness. In severe cases, multiple stings can lead to organ failure, difficulty breathing, and anaphylactic shock, even in people with no prior allergy and the worst mistake someone can make, trying to hide in water. Killer bees will hover above the surface, waiting for the person to come up for air. These bees don't just protect their hive, they fight like a coordinated army, and anyone in their path becomes the target. Number 11. Giant desert centipede. Lurking beneath rocks and fallen logs, the giant desert centipede is a creature straight out of a nightmare. It moves fast, its long, armor-plated body slithering across the ground with dozens of sharp, hooked legs. But what makes it truly terrifying isn't the way it looks, it's the way it bites. This centipede doesn't have fangs like a snake. Instead, it uses a pair of forcipules with specialized front legs shaped like curved daggers to pierce the skin and inject venom deep into the flesh. The result is an explosive wave of pain that strikes hard and spreads fast. Victims report a deep, burning sensation, followed by swelling, cramps, and muscle spasms that can last for hours. In some cases, the venom causes nausea, dizziness, and a powerful throbbing that shoots up the limb. It isn't usually deadly, but it can trigger temporary paralysis, tissue damage, or even heart palpitations, and unlike most venomous creatures that strike and escape, the giant desert centipede bites and holds on.
I'm gonna be bitten by the giant desert centipede so that I can explain to you just how painful the bite from this creature really is.
Wrapping its body around its victim and delivering more venom with every second. Some stings leave people in pain for days. In rare cases, the reaction is so severe it leads to hospitalization. But while this centipede's venom attacks the nerves and muscles, the next creature on the list delivers a toxin that shuts down the body completely, slowly, violently, and with devastating effect. Number 10. Paralysis. Tick. Most venomous creatures strike fast and flee. But the paralysis tick works differently. It waits, it clings, and while you go about your day, it slowly shuts your body down. Found across Australia, this tiny arachnid may look harmless, but its venom is among the most terrifying in nature. The tick feeds unnoticed, buried in skin.
The tick is feeding on you and salivating. And so when you burn the tick, it salivates even more,
drawing blood while releasing a toxin that targets the nervous system. At first, the symptoms seem minor. A bit of weakness, some shaky balance, maybe a strange heaviness in the legs. But as the tick continues to feed, the venom spreads deeper, disrupting nerve signals and weakening muscle control. Soon, the legs become too weak to stand. Speech slurs. Even simple movements become impossible. If the tick isn't removed in time, the effects grow worse. The venom begins to affect the chest muscles and lungs, making it hard or even impossible to breathe without emergency help. What makes this parasite so dangerous is its stealth. Many people never feel the bite. They don't know they've been targeted until their body is already beginning to fail. And even after the tick is removed, recovery can take weeks. The nervous system doesn't bounce back easily. Some victims need physical therapy to walk or move normally again. But while this creature quietly robs you of movement, the next one on the list does something far more disturbing. It burrows under your skin and grows inside you. Number 9. Botfly. Some insects bite and leave. Others sting and fly away. But the human botfly does something far more disturbing. It turns you into a host. This parasitic insect lays its eggs inside living flesh. When the eggs hatch, the larvae don't fall off or crawl away. They dig in, burrowing beneath the skin, where they live, grow, and feed, all while you go about your day. The process often begins with a mosquito or fly unknowingly delivering the eggs onto your skin. From there, the eggs hatch, and the larvae dig into the flesh, forming a small, swollen bump with a pin-sized hole to breathe through. At first, it may seem like a harmless bite, but then the sensation begins. Victims report tingling, sharp pinches, and a strange pressure, like something is moving inside them. That's because there is. The larva grows bigger over several weeks, feeding on tissue just below the surface.
Enters the skin through a bite and then lives with the host for up to 5 to 12 weeks, essentially feeding on tissue fluids.
If left untreated, the creature eventually pushes its way out, bursting through the skin as a fully formed botfly. Removal often requires suffocating it with petroleum jelly or surgically cutting it out. Infections are common, but even when no illness sets in, the psychological trauma can be severe. The idea of carrying a live, wriggling parasite beneath your skin is enough to haunt people long after it's gone. It doesn't sting, it doesn't bite, but it stays with you. Number 8. Cow killer velvet ant. It's barely 3/4 of an inch long, fuzzy, red and black, almost cute from a distance. But don't let the size fool you. This insect is called the cow killer for a reason, and no one gives a name like that without a story behind it. Despite the nickname, the cow killer is not actually an ant. It's a wingless wasp, and its sting is one of the most painful ever recorded.
The cow killer, ranked on the Insect Sting Pain Index as being the 4th most painful sting in the insect kingdom.
Victims describe it as instant, blinding, and powerful enough to make a grown adult drop to the ground. Wildlife documentarian Coyote Peterson, known for testing the world's worst stings, once allowed himself to be stung by this insect.
I'm moving a rung up on the Insect Sting Pain Index, and I'm going to be stung by the cow killer.
What followed was a wave of violent pain. His breathing grew heavy, his body trembled, and for a moment, he looked ready to cry. Scientifically, the venom is no joke. It has an LD50 value of 71 milligrams per kilogram. That means just 71 milligrams of venom is enough to kill 4 average-sized lab rats, each weighing about 250 grams. A single sting might not kill a human, but if you were stung repeatedly, the venom could shut your body down in less than 2 hours. These wasps roam sandy trails, grassy fields, and deserts across the eastern United States. They don't fly, they don't chase. But if one crawls inside your shoe, the pain will remind you why it's called the cow killer. Number 7. Asian giant hornet, murder hornet. This insect measures nearly 2 inches long. Its wings hum like a machine. Its eyes are cold and black. And its sting? It feels like being stabbed with a red-hot needle, a pain that can last for days. This is the Asian giant hornet, also known as the murder hornet. And it's not just intimidating in size, it's a killer. With an LD50 value of 4 milligrams per kilogram, the venom from a small colony is enough to kill a full-grown adult. If you weigh around 155 pounds and a swarm decides to target you, it could be deadly. In Japan, the Asian giant hornet has taken multiple lives, with venom that causes kidney failure and systemic shock. But even one hornet is dangerous on its own. Its sting is brutally painful, described by victims as being pierced with something red-hot. The pain spreads fast, and in some cases, the sting site becomes blackened from tissue damage. And if you think this nightmare is far away, think again. In 2019, the Asian giant hornet was found in Washington state, and experts fear it could spread across North America, if not contained. It doesn't just sting and leave. It hunts. It decimates honeybee colonies in hours.
A single hornet can kill as many as 40 bees a minute. Just 30 of them can annihilate a colony of 30,000 bees.
It attacks with precision, and when it strikes a human, it leaves behind agony and fear. Number 6. European dark bee. Do you like honey? Well, you might want to think twice before reaching into the hive. Meet the European dark bee, often called the black bee, and considered by many to be the dark knight of the bee family. Even the most experienced beekeepers agree. This bee is aggressive, defensive, and extremely hard to handle. Its body is almost entirely black, a color that mirrors its reputation. But it's not the look that makes it dangerous. The venom of the European dark bee has an LD50 value of 2.5 milligrams per kilogram, strong enough to cause nausea, abdominal cramps, and sudden drops in blood pressure. And getting stung? That's like playing a deadly game of chance. In some cases, it has taken over 100 stings to kill a human. But in other instances, just one sting has been enough to trigger fatal anaphylactic shock. There's no way to know how your body will react until it's too late. And if you're allergic, even slightly, the risk becomes terrifyingly real. This bee is native to parts of Europe, but it has also made its way into North America.
European dark bee is probably quite slim. These were the first bees introduced to North America,
where it's still known for its unpredictable aggression. So, if you ever come across a hive while out on a walk, remember this: you're not stealing honey from a regular bee. You're challenging a swarm of dark defenders, and they don't take prisoners. Number 5. Monarch Butterfly. The monarch butterfly is one of the most beautiful insects on Earth, a symbol of transformation, migration, and delicate elegance. But behind its stunning orange and black wings, the monarch butterfly hides a deadly secret. Found mostly in North America, monarchs are famous for their incredible migrations.
It doesn't look like much, but just this little bit of water in this mud puddle is enough for them to get.
Flying thousands of miles to Central America in the fall. They're also seen in Australia and across parts of Oceania, where they light up gardens and forests with their graceful flight. But don't let the beauty fool you. According to biologist David Rivers of Loyola University, Maryland, monarch butterflies are highly poisonous, and in the right conditions, they can kill a human. It's not from a bite or a sting. The danger comes if you eat one, even by accident. Their bodies are loaded with toxic chemicals called cardiac glycosides, which they absorb from milkweed plants during their larval stage. These toxins disrupt heart contractions and interfere with the nervous system, potentially leading to cardiac arrest or seizures in both humans and animals. Most predators learn this the hard way. Birds that eat a monarch quickly realize something is wrong. Their bodies react violently. Nausea sets in, and before long, they vomit to get rid of the poison. The monarch doesn't need claws or venomous fangs. Its defense is built in, invisible, silent, and highly effective. So next time you see one flutter past, admire it, but keep your mouth closed. Because nature's most elegant traveler is also one of its most toxic. Number 4. Blister Beetle. Most insects use venom to sting. They pierce, inject, and move on. But the blister beetle takes a different route, and it's far more disturbing. This small, unassuming insect doesn't need fangs. It doesn't even have a stinger. Instead, it releases a chemical called cantharidin, a natural toxin so powerful it can melt human flesh.
How toxic and just unreal these insects are.
The reaction is almost immediate. If a person brushes against the beetle, the toxin seeps into the skin, causing irritation and swelling. Within moments, the area turns red, then erupts into painful, fluid-filled blisters. But it doesn't stop there. The chemical sinks deeper, eating through tissue, peeling the skin, and leaving behind raw, exposed wounds. If cantharidin enters the bloodstream, the consequences can be even worse, damaging internal organs, leading to kidney failure, and in extreme cases, death. This same toxin has a dark past.
It keeps its rear end just cool enough to prevent it being cooked.
Historically, it was used as a poison and even as a dangerous aphrodisiac known as Spanish fly. But in nature, its purpose is simple: self-defense. Animals like birds and lizards instinctively avoid the blister beetle. But humans, unaware of the threat, often learn the hard way. And while this beetle's chemical attack causes agonizing skin damage, the next insect's venom is even more dangerous. It doesn't just destroy tissue, it overpowers the nervous system, one sting at a time. Number 3. Harvester ant. At first glance, the harvester ant looks harmless. It's small, it's reddish. It scurries quietly across the ground, going about its business like any ordinary ant. But don't be fooled. Drop for drop, the venom of a harvester ant is more potent than that of a cobra, and it doesn't just sting once. When this ant attacks, it latches on with powerful jaws and stings repeatedly, delivering a powerful neurotoxin straight into your skin. The pain is instant, burning, sharp, and spreading outward like an electric current. Victims say it feels like the sting continues long after the ant is gone. But the real danger isn't just the pain. The venom can trigger severe allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Breathing becomes difficult, blood pressure crashes, and in large numbers, harvester ants have been known to kill small animals and, in rare cases, even cause human fatalities. Unlike bees or wasps, which usually sting in defense, harvester ants are offensive attackers. If you disturb their colony, they won't hesitate. They will swarm, they will bite, and they will sting again and again. The venom overwhelms your nervous system, locking your body in burning pain. But the next insect goes further. Its venom attacks your cells directly, breaking them down with alarming speed. Number 2. Paper wasp. The sting of a paper wasp isn't just painful, it's chemically engineered to destroy you at the cellular level. Unlike bees, which die after delivering a single sting, the paper wasp can sting over and over again. And each time it does, it injects a toxic blend of compounds designed to wreak havoc beneath the skin. The venom contains chemicals known as mastoperanz compounds that break down cell membranes, causing intense inflammation, burning pain, and in some cases, necrosis, the death of living tissue. The pain is sharp, throbbing, and long-lasting, often spreading well beyond the sting site. Victims sometimes report nausea, dizziness.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, that is actually really, really painful. Ah!
And even temporary paralysis in the affected limb. For those with allergies, even a single sting can trigger anaphylactic shock, a condition so severe it requires immediate emergency care. But it's not just the venom that makes them dangerous. Paper wasps are highly territorial. If you come too close to their nest, they won't hesitate to strike. They sound a chemical alarm, summoning nearby wasps for a coordinated attack. Dozens can strike in seconds, turning a quiet walk in the park into a full-blown medical emergency. Their venom destroys cells, nerves, and any sense of safety you thought you had. And just when you thought you'd seen the worst, the next insect does everything the paper wasp does, but louder, faster, and with even more fury. Number 1. Yellow jacket. It looks like a bee, but it's not. It's faster, meaner, and far more likely to ruin your day or end it. This is the yellow jacket, and it earns its place at the top of the list for one terrifying reason. It never stops. Unlike bees that sting once and die, yellow jackets keep their stingers. That means they can sting again, and again and again, each time injecting venom that burns, swells, and spreads like wildfire beneath the skin. The pain is sharp and immediate, but for some, that's just the beginning. Yellow jacket venom can trigger severe allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis, where the throat swells shut, blood pressure drops, and breathing becomes impossible. And this happens fast. According to experts, these insects send over 500,000 people to the hospital every single year. That's not a scare tactic. That's a fact. And here's where it gets worse. Yellow jackets are drawn to bright colors, sweet smells and vibrations. Picnic food, scented lotion, a passing shadow, that's enough to get their attention. And if you accidentally get too close to their underground nest, they attack in swarms. No warning, no hesitation, just dozens, sometimes hundreds, stinging you until your body can't take it anymore. They don't protect. They eliminate threats. They are fast. They are relentless. And they are the reason you should never let your guard down when you're outdoors. So, which of these venomous creatures shocked you the most? Have you ever had a close call with one? Let us know in the comments below, and if you made it through this entire list without flinching, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and remember, sometimes the smallest things in nature leave the biggest scars.